In an era where quantum computers are household appliances and brain-computer interfaces make thought-controlled operations standard, humanity's way of life has undergone seismic shifts. Floating maglev homes in the cities can change locations at will, genetically customized pets chat fluently with their owners, and nanobot doctors patrol bodies 24/7, making diseases a thing of the past. Space travel is no longer a luxury, but a routine. Lunar resorts are perpetually overbooked. Underground cities on Mars now house third-generation settlers. And thanks to antimatter engines and space-folding technology, interstellar travel has smashed the light-speed barrier. Humanity's footprint spans the solar system. Now, it's time to venture into more distant cosmic territories. Ezekiel Johns stood at the observation deck of the Pioneer, adjusting the holographic display with his neural link, making the black void outside appear sharper. A nanobot doctor pinged him with a gentle suggestion to relax. His stress levels were rising. Despite the golden age of space exploration, the past 3 years of deep space travel had yielded little more than terabytes of data for quantum analysis. He sighed, commanding the ship's smart coffee machine to prepare a customized zero-gravity brew. Suddenly, the quantum monitoring array blared an alarm. A flashing red warning materialized on the holographic interface. "Zeke, get over here! Check this out!" His second-in-command, Leon Carter, shouted through the neural link. Suspended in mid-air, a stream of 3D data displayed a never-before-seen quantum wave pattern, like a tangled web of space-time distortions, pulsating like some sentient energy source. It sent a shiver through the crew. "Look at this waveform," Leon pointed at the jagged curves on the projection. The anomaly didn't match any known natural phenomenon. It seemed deliberate, almost intelligent, like something was sending them a signal. "Initiate full-spectrum scans," Zeke ordered. As beams probed the unknown region, a massive silhouette emerged from the void. It was a colossal object stretching kilometers in length, its uneven surface glowing faintly with an eerie purple hue. "This can't be real," Zeke's voice quivered. By all accounts, this sector was supposed to be empty. And yet, here was a leviathan that defied explanation. Stranger still, the quantum computer indicated its composition didn't correspond to any known element on the periodic table. "Lifeform scan results are in," Leon's voice cracked. "It's alive." The observation deck plunged into silence. All eyes locked onto the monstrous, slowly rotating entity, its undulating surface alive with incomprehensible patterns. For 3 years, they'd scoured the stars for extraterrestrial life, and now they'd found it. A discovery that filled them with existential dread. "Prepare for landing." Zeke finally broke the silence. "This could be humanity's greatest discovery. We need to find out what it is." "Prepare for landing." Zeke's command echoed through the comms. 12 crew members, clad in the latest nanotech protective suits, cautiously entered the massive organism through a docking passage. The moment they stepped inside, their vision began to warp. The interior felt like a kaleidoscope of twisted dimensions. Hallways appeared straight, but inexplicably looped back to their origin. Concepts like up, down, left, and right became meaningless. "This isn't right," Leon muttered, staring at his scanner. "The internal structure of this organism defies everything we know about biology. It has no conventional organs or systems. It's like a projection of a higher dimensional entity into our three-dimensional space." The walls began to reveal translucent sacs, each pulsating faintly. As Zeke leaned closer, his breath hitched. Trapped inside were human faces. Men, women, young, old, their expressions frozen in agony or terror. The ship's medic's trembling hands collected a sample for analysis. These are human tissues, and some samples date back hundreds of years," he stammered. Suddenly the walls trembled, and the sacs started writhing. Eyes within them opened, all staring directly at the team. A voice resonated, not through sound waves, but directly into their minds.
Welcome home, my children.
It wasn't a single voice, but a symphony of hundreds, layered together. It felt like the cries of countless souls.
We have awaited this moment for so long. Finally, you've come.
Who are you? What are you? Zeke demanded, his voice trembling.
We are part of you. You are our projections, our avatars. We exist within your world and beyond your comprehension.
The voice continued.
We are one of the oldest life forms in the universe, existing across dimensions beyond your understanding. Here, in your limited three-dimensional world, we manifest as distortions.
The crew listened in stunned silence as the entity revealed its purpose. For billions of years, it had observed countless civilizations. Some chose to merge with it, ascending to higher dimensional existence. Others, consumed by fear, destroyed themselves. Humanity, it claimed, was among the most promising species it had encountered. What about the humans in those sacks? Zeke asked, barely able to speak.
They are pioneers.
The voice replied.
Explorers from across the centuries who discovered us. They chose transcendence. Now, it is your turn.
No, this can't be happening. Zeke stumbled back as the sacks began to rupture, faces twisting and contorting as though trying to break free. The entire space pulsated, the fleshy walls undulating like a living digestive tract. It's trying to consume us, Leon screamed as a tentacle shot out, wrapping around a crew member and dragging them into the wall. Their screams were abruptly cut off, replaced by a sickening slurping noise. Retreat! Everyone, fall back! Zeke fired his laser weapon, but the beams had no effect. The monstrous entity absorbed the energy without a trace. The space twisted further. Crew members running down hallways found themselves inexplicably looping back or vanishing into folds of distorted space. The entity's layered voice echoed relentlessly.
Why flee? Stay and become one with us. This is your destiny, the inevitable fate of all civilizations.
Shut up, Zeke roared, dragging Leon through the writhing corridor. Their protective suits began to tear as alien substances seeped in. Behind them, screams faded into silence. But deep down, Zeke was wavering. The visions the entity had shown them were so awe-inspiring, so tempting. Freedom from death, freedom from time, the chance to become eternal. And then, his eyes fell on the self-destruct mechanism on his chest. It was their last choice: be assimilated and become part of this horrifying entity, or trigger the self-destruct sequence and bury this terrifying discovery forever. I'm sorry, Leon. Zeke's voice broke as his trembling finger hovered over the button. A tear slid down his cheek. Some truths humanity just isn't ready to face. The Pioneer's final transmission ended abruptly with an ear-piercing shriek. It didn't sound human, yet it seemed to carry the anguish of countless souls. The event became the most chilling, unsolved mystery in the history of human space exploration. The official story was that it had been a tragic accident, but those in the know realized that every telescope pointed toward that sector of space had quietly been shut down. What was even more unsettling was that scientists who had been part of the investigation started reporting strange phenomena. At night, they claimed to hear an inexplicable calling, and their dreams were invaded by incomprehensible geometric patterns. But the most chilling part came 3 years later. On Earth, strange phenomena began to occur. Some people swore that at certain angles they could see things in mirrors, things that didn't belong in this dimension. Those glowing blue patterns, those distorted human faces. Perhaps Zeke's choice had only delayed an inevitable encounter. In the vastness of the universe, humanity was as insignificant as grains of sand on a beach. And somewhere in the endless darkness, beings beyond human understanding patiently awaited the next contact.